you always see people like driving around town with like the 26.2, and like in my head, I'm like, man, like if all these people can do it, it can't be that hard. And honestly, I wanted to like challenge myself. So I was like, it was a Sunday night. I told my roommates my idea. It was around like 5 o'clock. I was like, man, I think I'm going to run a marathon. And they're like, dude, no way. I was like, oh, I can definitely do it. And they convinced me. We have a team group me with like all our coaches and everyone on the team. They're like, you got to put it in the team group me so you don't back out. I was like, all right, like good idea. Put it in there. Everyone started getting hyped up over it. And I was like, well, I got to do it now. So the next day around 2 o'clock, I went out. My two mates followed me on bikes the entire time and ran a marathon. It was a lot harder than I thought. If I was to do it again, I'd probably do some prep and training. But yeah, it's kind of to challenge myself, prove I could do it with no training.
How much thought went into the route that you took, or did you just go?
Very little thought. So we pretty much just pulled up a running app that tracked the miles, and we're like, all right, then just kind of went, checked where we were at. So from my house, we ran to Cosmos Park in Columbia. I think it was like 3 miles there, and then like just did laps for like a really long time around Cosmos Park, then ran back to my house, which was the first half of the marathon. That was like right at 13 miles, which I cruised. I did that in like 2 hours, was feeling good, did a little fuel break, got some like Gatorade and granola bars. And then after that is when it really started to hurt. And I'm like, dang, what did I do? But yeah, after that, I think we went into campus, and then I went to Stankowski Field. I was just running laps on the track there. And around mile 16 is when it really started to suck. And I was like, man, like, there's no reward for this or anything. Like, my feet are hurting. I'm not having a good time. And I'm like, only 10 more miles. Like, I can't back out now. And my roommates were there encouraging me, did it, and then finished. And it was awesome.
So give me a better idea of what that feeling was like. I mean, we hear about a runner's high, but you also mentioned that you hit the wall there in the second half. When you finished, what's that kind of feeling of adrenaline that started to surge through you?
Oh, yeah. So around mile 16, so I didn't do it with like a proper pair of running shoes, which I definitely changed. Like, I just had like a beat up pair of Nikes I used. And like my feet and legs were like really starting to hurt. It like actually like hurt to run. And around mile 16, I was like, man, like I've already done 16 miles. I got like 10 more miles, which is a feat on its own. But in the back of my mind, I was like, man, you got everyone hyped up. You got to do it. You only have you're over halfway done. So backing out now, like that really wasn't an option. So I just pulled it together. My times got a little slower, but I did it. And then the last mile, when I started approaching back to my house where like the finish line was, it was awesome. I got like a boost of energy, picked up the pace a little bit, and it felt really good to finish. Sat down right away. But
How does this compare to the amount of running that you do just in your normal training? I mean, is this just like blow out of the water any type of normal training you do?
oh yeah. So in our preseason, which is about a month before season starts, and season starts in like early November, we'll only run like 3.5 miles. I'm pretty sure the route is, and then like stadium workouts. But ever since the quarantine happened, when our nationals got canceled, like I haven't done any cardio because I was running a lot to make weight and stuff. So I was like, man, I don't want to run for a little bit. I guess I kind of missed it a little bit, and I was like, well, if I could do that, like I can do this. I like pushing myself because my quote has always been like, your mind quits before your body does, and if I can get out there and do it with no training, like no running shoes, like anyone could do it. It's just how far do you want to push your mind, and like you got to push walls back, and like your training, and like it'll make you like mentally tougher. So I could definitely see myself doing another like crazy workout challenge like this. But
Can you swim?
yeah, I can swim, not very well, but I
So
can swim.
Ironman, yes, no. I mean, you combine, do a triathlon, maybe.
Man, maybe in the far future. I definitely have to train for an Ironman. That's like because the marathon alone whipped me out. I couldn't imagine swimming 2 miles, and like biking like 100 after it or whatever it is.
Hey, what has this meant for your team? Because you guys are separated and you don't get to see each other. You had the disappointment of the way your season ended, but it sounds like this was something that, maybe one of the unintentional benefits was kind of bringing your team together and giving you an opportunity to work together again towards something.
Yeah, it was awesome because honestly, like I didn't do it for the hype or anything. Like I just did it for myself. I wanted to do it. I was bored. But it was cool to like have like the words of encouragement in the group be like, and everyone was asking like, oh, give me updates, like what miles he on? And yeah, they would my roommates who was biking was like sending updates in there, and everyone was like hyped. They're like, man, I can't believe you did that. So I think it was cool to like kind of like root for something again, root for an end goal, bring the team together a little bit. So
And finally, what did Coach Smith, and also I got to know what Coach Larson thought of this, that that you just decided to go do this.
I know Smith called me like the day of, and he was like, "Man, like, are you?" He didn't. I don't know if he believed it or thought it was a joke, but I was like, "Yeah, I'm doing it." He was like, "Well, make sure you have water. Like, don't hurt yourself." So I just think they thought like, "Man, this kid's crazy." I don't know, but I think that's what the overall consensus was. Like, why? They're like, "Man," but they all respected it after I did it, so it was awesome.